So, episode 3 of Seraph of the End Season 2 was nothing but straight build-up. Obviously, we have a huge fight going down in an episode or two because that right there is what the real focus of the second season is. So this fight or war, as they were calling it, that right there is definitely getting hyped up thanks to this episode. And this episode started off where we have some kid who's obviously, who's obviously living among the vampires. We see the child like walking in some area, but we see him going to this bird, and this bird is a carrier pigeon. And so we see him, giving this bird some kind of like letter or note, and we see it flying to one of Kureto's, like one of Kureto's people. And so we see that this female, I believe that this is the one that I said in 2 weeks ago maybe, that she was like some kind of kin to Mitsuba because they look very similar. And so we see now that when she gave Kureto, that note that the boy sent, his next order of business was to actually call in, Goran. And so obviously that right there was like kind of weird because to me, maybe Goran might get right out or something. I'm not really sure what would, Kureto, be doing, calling him in there like that. And so now we go to Yu, Kimi, and Yoshi. They were like at the girls' dorm or wherever the girls stay. And so right now we have the girls who actually invited boys over for breakfast now, and we have Yu, messing around with his hair because he had bedhead, and right now he was like wondering what was going on, but obviously, Kimi and Yoshi, they already knew what was happening. And so now when they went up the stairs, we see that they heard this scream, and all we saw was like smoke coming out one of the rooms. And so right now we see that the girls, they were like burning breakfast, but that right there was like mainly Mitsuba, because for some reason she thought it would be, a bright idea to actually add alcohol to an omelet. And that right there was the first time I ever heard of like something like that. And so obviously the girls were like struggling, and that right there allowed Kimi to like step up and actually make breakfast for them all. And we even have Yu, praising him afterwards, and that right there definitely surprised me because normally these two butt heads, but Yu's character is definitely, a lot different compared to like season 1, because we all know, like during season 1, for the most part, Yu was like an edgelord as they call him, and now he seems, a lot more laid back. He's very mellow, and we see him now getting closer to like all our characters. And so right now, you was like wondering what was like going on, or how come they all, can't get up for breakfast, because even though he felt like they weren't keeping a secret from him, he did feel like they were leaving him out, recently, and that right there was like kind of like getting to him. And so very Shinatli or like very middle, like we have Shinoa telling you that like he had lost control and like and almost killed her, because that right there was like one topic that they had want to talk about today, and the other was like obviously trying to decide if Goran was like worth staying with, or possibly leaving him behind, or maybe joining someone like Kureto, even though he seems so much worse. And so now when like Goran have finally went to go meet Kureto, we see now that like in some kind of yard there were like 3 vampires that were chained up to like some kind of a giant scythe. And so we see one of them obviously being sick, or losing his mind from like not having any blood in a while. He actually tried to attack Goran, but obviously he could not reach him. And we see now that the reason why these vampires were like chained up like this, it's because Kureto, he's actually trying to like make vampires into demons, but this way was like very, like non-effective. This way was not working at all. And so we see, like after a long talk, the main reason why Kureto had called Goran out here, it was pretty much to decide, if like Goran was like, like loyal or trustworthy. And even though Kureto was like probably, BSing, out of his ass, right now he actually gave, Goran just like pretty important mission where Goran and the and his other men of his 100 men of the Moon Demon Company, they must go to some place now. What's it called? Because it isn't a title. I believe it's called Nagoya. They must go there because right now there is 10 vampire nobles, living there, and right now they actually want to like wipe them out. And also, I do wonder if maybe Goran also experimented on Yoshi and Kimi as well, because even Kureto was like wondering how in the world did like Goran get lucky to have 3 black demon prospects under him, and obviously we all know what's going on with you, because that would make sense. But how in the world were like Kimi and Yoshi compatible as well? Because that right there, I feel like there also must be like some kind of special reason why they were picked. And even though Goran said that it was luck, obviously no one was like really believing that. But once Goran had got his mission, we learn now that like Kureto, what he wants to do is pretty much kill. First he said he wants to kill all the vampires. And then he actually wants to look for any other human, human organizations like the Demon Company he currently runs, and he actually wants to crush them all. And not only that, he wants to put the entire world under his control. So obviously this guy has some pretty big dreams, and there is no telling how far he might go, to actually, succeed. And we even say now that like someone who sacrifices people without any desire is just evil, and I do wonder if that right there was like meant for Goran or talking about himself, because obviously this guy, it seemed like he would do anything to achieve his goal. And even though that right there is a strong desire he has right now, that right there does not make him good at all. This guy could be evil, and it's possible that like even he could be working with vampires, because right now, he told Goran, shut up and follow my orders, and I will show you a world where we make vampires into livestock. And that right there, I highly doubt, to be honest with you. And so right now, going back to you and Shinoa, even though he found out that, that he almost killed Shinoa, you took it surprisingly well. I thought maybe he would be, depressed or wondering what the heck happened. But we see now that, that when Shinoa and you were talking, we actually got a very cute moment where Shinoa was like caught off guard, where we have you, asking her that during the next raid, when they go to Nagoya, will Shinoa come with him? We see at first, Shinoa was like definitely caught off guard, and after they held hands, she even looked at her for a moment, before catching up with you. And so right now we see that he had made his decision now, and he plans on like sticking with Goran, because he said that Goran said that they were all a family, and right now Goran here will like help him with Mika as well. And so right now you will like trust in those words, which is why he would not betray him, because you had a good point. Even though, you never knew what a real family was, just because someone had, betray you once, it does not make it right to betray them, in the same way. And so right now we have all the other characters, sticking with you and making that same choice. And that right there, even though Goran's suspicion, among them got solved rather quickly, I do wonder if maybe Goran will betray them, and maybe his words could be like nothing but lies. But for some reason, I don't really see that happening. I don't want to say I have a Goran bias, because I can't say, when like Goran acts like a dick, I can't call him out on that. Oh, and speaking of Goran, we saw Shinoa's sister, manifest herself in like a ghastly spirit form. And we see now that, apparently she is like trying to control Goran, because she said, follow my orders and I will make all your wishes come true. So I do wonder exactly what kind of desires does like Goran have, because to me, I'm definitely curious about that. But we see now that he was not buying her words and like told her to shut up. And so now, we have Goran making a plan about the attack that's going to happen soon. And we see now that when Shinowa, came in there and like told her, or told Goran about that question he asked her, whether or not she had failed for you. Right now, Shinowa definitely, is unsure of her feelings, but I'm positive she knows that she definitely loves him. But we see now that, because you needs her, she definitely wants to like step up to the plate and make sure she can measure up to his feelings. And that right there is huge. So maybe Shinowa and the U-ship Mycel, that right there would be, like rather nice, because these two always seem, to get along, rather well, because they always go back and forth when like Shinowa would ever tease him. And so right now we have Goran. Now I'm not sure if maybe he's like passing on that like mission to her, but obviously, they are definitely getting involved in that raid, obviously. And now going to Mika, obviously Mika's not drinking blood, whatsoever, and we see him almost going crazy. And now we have Cruel, who was like filling up these glass tubes with her blood, and we see Mika, pretty much manhandling her and drinking, her blood. And once she came up to her senses, we learn now that even though Cruel is like a queen, or definitely a noble, for some reason Mika cannot last on her blood. And to me, that right there was like rather strange. So apparently, at some point, Mika, he will have no choice but to drink, human blood. And so I do wonder if, like, whenever him and you meet again, or it's possible that if they can somehow, stay together, if you or possibly, or you if possibly, his new family, which is obviously Mika's new family, if they ever can stay together, I do wonder if they would let Mika, drink their blood, so that way he can stay sane and not go crazy like that again. And so right now we have Mika, asking Cruel how come she did not kill, him and you, even though she was supposed to. And we see now that there was a certain reason why she needs them alive, and more importantly, why she needs the Seraph of the end. And obviously, we don't know that reason now, but I do hope they, reveal it soon, because obviously, they will make some kind of flashback to go back to that point, and we will definitely know, we would definitely know why she wants them. I just hope it's soon. But now at the end, we see Kureto. We see her now performing some kind of like human experiment on a kid, and more importantly, like I believe this right here is what he was like hiding from Goran, because obviously what he wants to do is also make like, these like black demon prospects, or make demons in general, so that way he can like strengthen his forces. And so we see now that when the experiment was like going on, we have this kid not really reacting, but out of nowhere we just see like this black smoke rise up. And then we see now that, Kureto, he actually wants to push it one step further. And even though this little girl or kid could die, he still wants to go through with it. And that's why I don't believe, like, there's no way in the world Kureto could be a good guy, because he just go, too far overboard. But overall for episode, it was like definitely good. We have Mika meeting up with the vampire that had killed Yochi's sister. So maybe these two, will have, an encounter, and possibly Yoshi can kill him. But right now we have Mika getting ready for a secret mission, because what he has to do is get you, while also, avoiding all the humans and vampires. Because if Mika fails this mission, then the entire world will turn on him, and that right there I kind of doubt, because maybe the humans, or at least Goran and you family could some way accept him. But overall, for a setup episode, it was definitely it was pretty good. I'm curious to see what will happen this season, and this fight that's now getting hyped up, or this war, it should be going pretty darn well. But as always, don't forget to let me know what you guys thought, and please do not forget to like and subscribe because it really helps me out. But as always, you gotta take it easy. I will see you all next time.